So thank you very much and welcome to my talk. The contents of my talk are first, I will give a short language background, then an overview on the argument markers in Rumai. Then I will speak about different markers in more detail. Then there are some combinations of the markers and a discussion, and at the end, a summary, yes. So Rumai is a variety of Palaung, or a Palaung language of the Austroasiatic language family. It is spoken mainly in northern Shan State in Myanmar and also in Yunnan, China. And you see the approximate region where it is spoken here on the map. There is a population of about 160,000. Rumai has prevalent SV and AVP constituent order, and there are also multiverbal predicates. On the picture, you see a typical village on the ridges in northern Shan State. So the argument markers in Rumai are the oblique marker ta. It marks G arguments generally in all the clauses, then P and T arguments in verb initial dependent clauses, P arguments with certain verbs, then the locative pa marks adjuncts, and S and P arguments in the construction, a place where one reads, and the complementizer la is used for S arguments in existential clauses and P arguments with certain verbs. Okay, then the oblique marker ta in independent clauses, as already mentioned, it is used for the G argument or also the indirect objects. In example 1, the teacher gives a book to the students. We have the ta before child, school, that means student. Ta is not only used for the goal, but also for the source. So generally for the indirect object, like in example 2, I got the book from her. Then in number 3, we have the teacher says to the student. That is also generally used after verbs of saying or speaking. So say, call, or tell are used with da. Then dependent clauses. Here we speak about verb initial dependent clauses. In Rumai, most dependent clauses are verb initial. There are so far only 2 kinds of dependent clauses that are verb medial, like all the independent clauses. So independent clauses are generally verb medial. So in verb initial dependent clauses, also the direct object is marked by ta, which is unmarked in independent clauses. So in example 4, when he opened the box, he found a snake inside it. When he opened the box, here box, the direct object is marked by ta. When we have a verb initial ditransitive dependent clause, both the direct and the indirect object are marked by ta. As in example 5, when I gave rise to my friend, he was very happy. Then we have some example purposive clauses or verb initial. He saves money to buy a motorcycle. Purposive clauses are introduced by the purposive marker cha. Then manner clauses, he makes effort as much as he has strength. The verb me has its basic meaning is exist, but it can also be used as a transitive verb with the meaning to have. This is a usual feature in Southeast Asia, also in, for example, in Burmese and Thai and Shan. This is the same feature here. So here we have also da in front of the direct object strength. Then also complement clauses. His mother found out that he had stolen money. Here also da in front of money, the direct object. Then also relative clauses. At the place where we cross the cars is a zebra crossing. So here also da in front of car. Then another feature, this is not about dependent clauses, but verbs. Some verbs of emotion use also da for the direct objects. Here we have miss, but there is also a verb meaning love that is used, or to be happy about someone is also used with da. Then the locative marker ba is used to mark adjuncts, like in example 11. Please help me to bring a table from the market. So we have here the adjunct from the market. Then it is also used as adjunct in the form of a headless relative clause. Here we go to the wedding of other people, and here this headless relative clause has the meaning the place where others marry. These constructions is also used as S arguments. My birthplace is Namchak village, so my birthplace, the place where I have been born, is Pakert Au. Then also for P arguments, here the literal meaning is we don't have a place where we could buy something, but we can simply translate we don't have a shop or market. Then the complementizer la marks the S arguments in existential clauses. Here in example 15, we have a long time ago, there was a jungle. So here jungle is marked by la. And it is also used for P arguments. Here is not yet clear why it is used here. They got up and opened their house. As far as I've seen, open is at least often used together with la. So it may depend here on the verb. Then we have also P arguments. We plan to build a house next month. Here, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, here is simply the P argument is marked, so it is simply an argument marker. Then there are also combinations of the markers. In example 18, when he came home, his dog was already waiting for him every day. Here we have the oblique marker da and the locative marker pa. Here it is not yet clear why This is used here. Maybe it depends on the two verbs. That means return uses pas, to return where, and reach may use a direct object, so reach what, but that is simply a guess. Then in 19, we have the oblique marker ta and the complementizer la. That means the job you do for living. Here, I suppose that that means I don't know, not suppose, but ta never occurs directly in front of a verb. That is not possible. So la is used probably as kind of a nominalizer. Then in 20, we have, he said to the frog, hey, don't shout. We had before the verbs of saying that usually use ta, and here is also la, but I don't know so far why did it use. Maybe it's simply the season of the speaker. So then the discussion. There are several dependent clauses without ta in front of the direct object. So why is this the case? Example 21 is a conditional clause. Means heroin, you will face problems. So conditional clauses are dependent clauses, but they are verb medial, like independent clauses. So probably that isn't used here because of this circumstance, because it is verb medial. 22 and 23 are elicited from the same sentence, and we have here two slightly different answers. So we have here two relative clauses. The first one is introduced by the nominalizer e, and we don't have that. So it may be that the sentence is nominalized, and we don't have the da. A feature of dependent clauses is that they use simply bu as a negator, and independent clauses use also au and ma. These two negators are not possible in dependent clauses. So we see it is still a dependent clause, but maybe it is nominalized. However, in 23, we don't have the nominalizer, but we have here the irrealis marker nang. So is it still nominalized, or are these clauses on the way to change the constituent order, like it's the case with the conditional clauses? This is also not yet clear. Then in 24, we have again an example that we have already seen. We have here a complement clause, and we don't have a ta. Maybe this la is like in 25 also a nominalizer or has a nominalizing meaning. But yes, this all needs more research. So my summary, that marks the G arguments in detransitive independent clauses and the P and T arguments in verb initial dependent clauses. There are constructions preceded by the locative pas or the complementizer la, which function as arguments of verbs. There are also combinations of the markers, and why there is a lack of the oblique marker ta in front of direct objects in certain dependent clauses is not yet clear. And what I didn't say so far, the locative pas and the complementizer la are not always obligatory. And of course, everything of this needs more research. So thank you for your attention.